Legal responsibility, large finance. Who is this?
What life experience did you learn from the movie Memento?
Learn to accept the present and not get lost in the past.
Our past is not always reliable.
Don't let your emotions and past experiences completely define you.
If you woke up tomorrow with no recollection of your past, would you still be you? Do you think Leonard himself, or does each reset make him someone new?
I think if I woke up tomorrow with no remembering of my past, I think some parts of me would remain, like my instincts or my preferences, but I would feel incomplete. Since much of my identity formed by my experiences or history of my past, I would feel like a blank slate, rediscovering myself from scratch.
I believe even though he knew who he was, the inability to erase his memories, erase his identity. By that, I would like to refer to Leonard's quote, "We all need memories to remember who we are." But Teddy Gammel answered him that Leonard only remembers who he was and not who he is now.
Is our identity merely a product of our memories, or does something deeper define us?
But at the same time, each reset takes away a part of him, and every time he wakes up, it's a new person whose personality is shaped by his past, and he cannot understand fully his own actions.
Now, let's dig into another layer, truth. Leonard relies on notes, tattoos, and Polaroids to piece his life together, but can these be trusted?
The reliability of truth is the key idea in Memento. Leonard uses his notes, tattoos, and Polaroids to help him remember things, thinking that it would keep him grounded in this reality.
But as the film moves on, we can see that these tools can be misused by others or even by Leonard himself. And this makes us question if the things we believe are actually true.
In our own lives, memories work exactly the same. We can think about memories as something constant and accurate, but it can change over time. Our feelings, biases, and even experience can affect how we remember things. It's like editing a photo until it looks completely different, but we still believe it's the same.
In the end, the search of truth in Memento is just as messy and fragile as Leonardo's notes and tattoos. And maybe that's what makes our journey and his journey so real and human.
Are we truly free, or are we bound by the choices and circumstances of our past selves?
Leonard's story raises an important question about free will and determinism. First, we can think that he making choices, he following the clues, confronting people, persuading his wife's killer. But as we dig deeper, we understand that he just follows the clues that were made by his old self, and he can remember creating them. It feels like he's not in control at all, and just following the script he does not understand.
So this makes us think, is Leonard truly free, or he's just trapped in a cycle of his own making? So it is a question that applies to all of us. We think of ourselves as autonomous, but most of our behavior is shaped by our past habits and past decisions.
So we might feel like we're making choices, but are we just following the path laid out by our past experiences?
But Leonard's journey shows that the line between free will and determinism isn't always clear.
Is revenge meaningful when you can't even remember achieving it?
Leonard's revenge is both tragic and gripping. He believes that by avenging his wife's death, he will succeed and it will bring him peace. But the problem is that he won't remember everything he did, and it will leave him in a cycle, trapped where he will chase the purpose that he cannot fully grasp.
So this raises a difficult question. Is revenge truly about justice, or it's just holding on to a purpose, even if this purpose is based on falsehoods? For Leonard, it isn't just about achieving closure, but it is the thing that keeps him going on.
But there is a darker side of this quest. Leonard's actions hurt innocent people. His judgment is clouded by the inability to see the whole picture. This brings us to the moral dilemma. Where does his pursuit of justice turns into a selfish pursuit of revenge?
The chilling question Leonard's story leaves us with is, if revenge can bring the resolution, is it worth pursuing at all?
The stories we believe about ourselves shape our reality. The truth may not always be what we seek, but what we avoid. In the end, our choices, not our certainties, define who we are.
So when I watched the film, Plato's allegory of the cave to my mind, Plato suggested that prisoners in a cave only see the versions of reality. They see only shadows and projections, but not the truth. Similarly to Leonard's, he relies only on his tattoos, notes, and Polaroids, and his reality is fragmented and only partial.
Kant emphasized the importance of acting according to universal moral principles rather than personal desires. Leonard's actions are driven by revenge, not reason or duty. And Kant would argue that Leonard's decisions cannot be counted because they are based on incomplete memories and his personal biases.
Socrates believed that true wisdom comes from knowing oneself. In Memento, Leonard lacks self-awareness because he cannot control his own actions. Socrates might believe that Leonard's revenge is unacceptable because it's based on unreliable information. Socrates would challenge Leonard to question himself and ask him if his actions are morally acceptable.